book. You can bring that slide up now. His recent book is called Your Unique Self. It's a marvelous book. It is not light reading. We're not here solely, I say solely for light stuff. I'm here for some light stuff, like family road trips with those kids of mine. It's a very, behave. Otherwise, we're turning around and going home right now. Mark Gaffney offered this formula. It's an updated take on the path to enlightenment. Our true self plus perspective equals unique self. The first words are capitalized for a reason. We're talking about who we are essentially. True self is the understanding that we are one, that we are always one in spirit, in the divine, in God. And the perspective is your perspective. I shared this last Sunday. It's your perspective. It's your unique way of being. Because you are an incredibly, essentially, absolutely valuable, unique expression of the face of God. Your face is the face of God. And yours. And yours. I won't do that to you. Sometimes I go, well, not you. It just doesn't feel good when it's like, ooh, not me. All of you are the unique face of God. And God, to the extent that, and these are human terms, that God needs and desires and wants to have unique expression, which in a divine way God does. You're it. You being you. Being the fullest, deepest, most complete you can be. It is only when you and I embrace both our oneness and our uniqueness that we can continue to more fully grow into our uniquely divine selves. The perspective that you bring to life is essential. I'm going to start over. The perspective that you bring to life, each and every one of us, is essential to the evolution of consciousness, the evolution of the universe, and, wait for it, the evolution of love itself. And put another way, and this is the leading edge, as I understand it, of our collective New Thought understanding. Your unique expression is essential to the evolution of God. The evolution of God. Because what is love? God. And what is God? Love. The 13th century, he sang. I like to say that because his writing sounds so contemporary to me. 13th century Sufi mystic and poet Hafiz captures the essence of this knowing. In his poem, The God Who Only Knows 4 Words. Every child has known God. Not the God of names, not the God of don'ts, not the God who ever does anything weird, but the God who only knows 4 words and keeps repeating them, saying, "Come dance with me. Come dance. How important is it that you be you? Your unique self? Let me ask you, have you ever said to another person, I can't imagine my life without you in it? I know you've said that. And if you haven't said it, you've felt it and thought it. I can't imagine my life. Can't imagine without you in it. That is how valuable your unique self is. Because at this very moment, there is at least one other person who has an exact feeling about you. You are essential, as you are, essential to the seamless coat of the universe. The interior of that coat and the exterior. You are here to sing the song of yourself. To be the unique presence you are, to give the unique gifts that only you can give. How do you feel when you hear that you have an obligation? I have an obligation. Who says? And who do they think they are? And I'll be Hoover damned if, etc., etc., etc. We don't like being obligated, especially Unity folk. Don't say I'm obligated. Let me be inspired. It comes from within. It all comes from within. Well, in the Buddhist tradition, there is the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva is an awakened human being, an awakened spiritual being, who has made a self-made vow not to enter into, and remember, this is a Buddhist teaching, and we're advancing it. It is being advanced. But it's the Buddhist teaching that says, the Bodhisattva says, I'm going to postpone my fullest awakening and enlightenment, drifting off into the void. Now, I'm going to postpone that. I'm going to hang out here on earth. And I'm going to hang out here and help y'all. It's a Southern Buddhist. I'm going to wait here and help y'all until everybody's enlightened. And when we're all enlightened, then I'll drift off into the void. Well, the expression, the unique self-expression of the Bodhisattva is the unfolding of joy and divine commitment. It is the unfolding and expression of an inner obligation. Because you and I have a divine obligation, and the divine obligation that we have is to be who we are, uniquely, resoundingly, joyfully, as fully as we can be. It is a divine obligation. It is the obligation to advance the evolution of the consciousness in the universe and love and God. That's why we're here. This is obligation on a very different level than that imposed by mom and dad, church, and state. This obligation I'm speaking of, this divine obligation, is your calling. It is the reason you are on the planet. Let's say that you are on a lush tropical island, and you were there with another person, one other person. And fruits and vegetables and fish and wildlife abound. You can easily go strictly vegan or full-on carnivore or anything in between. And there's only one problem in all of this, and that problem is that the other person that you are with, due to a physical ailment, she cannot feed herself. She is incapable of feeding herself. And so the question arises, are you obligated to feed her? Well, most people would say, yes, absolutely. In this situation, you are absolutely obligated to feed her. Because you're the only one who can. Your unique self, in that unique circumstance, discovers it has a unique gift that can only be given by you. And the person you're with, her unique self, in this unique situation, comes to realize that she can uniquely receive your gift. It is the circle of life. Showing up, being who we are, discerning what only we can give and no one else, and giving it. And the person who receives it, they uniquely receive it. Because they can only receive it from you and no one else.